Okay, so sa mundo ng mga smartphones, para sa akin, ang mga smartphones na below 10,000 pesos is considered siya na budget smartphone. Anything below 10,000 pesos. Sa pera na yon, marami ka na din mabibili ng mga smartphones na ang ganda ng value nila. Kasi kahit ba man na tinatawag siya na budget smartphone, is may mga budget smartphone na hindi maganda ang value. Tapos kasama yung Infinix Hot 20s na na-review ko recently sa mga budget smartphones na maganda yung value. Pero paano kaya if yung bibilin mo is isang high-end flagship from years ago na budget price na ngayon? As nabasa nyo naman sa title ng video na to, yun nga, yung nasa akin ngayon. Isa nga tong LG na high-end flagship smartphone way back in 2019. So, how does it compare? Actually, hindi ko siya directly mako-compare sa Infinix Hot 20s, but yeah, i-compare ko to base sa memorya ko sa pagka-review ko ng Infinix Hot 20s, and worth it ba na bumili ka na lang ng ganito kumpara sa isang brand new na budget smartphone? And yung sagot sa tanong na yun actually is malalaman nyo pa in a few days as lalagay ko pa yung SIM card ko dito, then gagamitin ko, then yeah, basically gagawa ko ng full review nito. Pero for now, unbox muna nga natin to. Shoutout sa Louis Gadgets Hut sa as always, magandang packaging sa mga phones nila. So yes, nabili ko naman to sa Louis Gadgets Hut. Kung naghanap kayo ng mga basically parang brand new na condition ng mga used smartphones. So ito nga, ang binili ko nga na smartphone is ang LG V50. Yan, kita nyo naman, napakaganda. Kahit na again, 4-year-old na to ngayon na flagship smartphone. And mamaya ko na siguro i-inspect further yung unit na to. And yung ibang sinasama ni Sir Louis this time, yes, meron tayong Bavin na 18-watt fast charger with Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0. Very nice naman. And yeah, may headphones nga po tayo na AKG branded. So, very nice yun. Walang case. Na-expect ko sana may case. But yeah, walang case to. And yes, meron nga 3.5mm headphone jack ang LG V50 nga. Wow, ang pangit na nakita nyo to na reflection. Pasensya doon. So, ang bili ko nga again dito is 8K, around 8K. And sa specs, mainly sa CPU neto, which is Snapdragon 855. Para sa akin, sobrang sulit nun. Tapos further inspection is may mga fuse cups tayo dito na bakbak na konti yung paint dito sa corner na to ng frame. But other than that, very nice naman yung unit. Wala naman ako nakitang gas so far sa back glass na to. Same din sa main display niya. Tapos ang kinagandahan dito, ang gustong-gusto ko sa design ng LG sa phone na to, basically flat back tayo. Wala tayong camera bump, wala tayong camera hump. And this is just 0.5mm sticker compared sa S20 Plus ko, which na nakikita nyo naman has a fairly thick din na camera bump. Not too thick, pero may camera bump pa din nevertheless. And obviously, sa mga hindi pa nakakaalam ng specs ng LG V50 is ito nga ang specs niya. Pero main specs is 6.4-inch nga na OLED display, Snapdragon 855, triple camera setup with OIS, yung wide, and yung telephoto niya. Stereo speakers with again, a 3.5mm headphone jack. And siguro the only thing lang na underwhelming dito is yung display, which 60Hz lang siya and 4,000 mAh battery lane nandito, which makikita ko yung performance neto. How does it perform battery wise in a few days nga yun. But yeah, turn on ka to. Tingnan natin kung may charge tayo. Yep, may charge nga. And if I'm not mistaken, Korean unit to. Most na mga units na binibenta ni Sir Louis is galing ng Korea, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, may 5G na nga din to. Kasi yung complete name ng LG V50 is LG V50 ThinQ 5G. So currently, nasa 46% tayo. And if hindi ko pa nababanggit is rear-mounted nga yung fingerprint scanner neto, which sobrang namimiss ko sa mga smartphones. And siguro bago ko gamitin to is re-reformat ko muna to.
1 hour later.
And yeah, after setting this up and painstakingly download Genshin Impact ang isa lang talaga sa nagpapatagal nung taking up most of my time pag nagre-record ako is eto nga, yung hinayupak na laro na yan. And yeah, para mapakita ko lang sa inyo yung physical aspects ng phone na to. So, right side, power button, tapos nandito nga yung SIM card tray. So, combo tray to. So, pwedeng 2 nano SIMs or 1 nano SIM and 1 micro SD card. At the bottom, we have nga the USB Type-C charging port, 3.5mm headphone jack, main microphone, tapos yung bottom firing speakers, tapos sa left side ang ating volume rockers, and legit, hindi ko alam to about the LG V50 is meron pala siyang extra button dito sa baba lang ng volume rockers. Basically, Google Assistant button to. So, pag pinindot mo to, immediately ma-activate ang Google Assistant, which currently I think is hindi ata ma-assign sa ibang function, at least sa pagkakalikot ko so far. And sa top, ang ating noise cancelling microphone, and wala tayong ibang shit na nandyan. Sa back nga, kaya naman yun. So, we do have a glass back for this V50. Tapos yung LG logo dito. Meron tayong 3 contact pins here, mainly for the double screen or dual screen accessory, which basically ito siya. Hindi ko siya masasabi na parang gimmick, more of a functionality added sa phone na to, which is actually pretty cool. Tapos dito nga is yung V50 ThinQ, which hindi ko pa din alam kung bakit ginamit ng LG ang term na ThinQ, but yeah, fingerprint scanner nga. Tapos, triple camera setup. So, meron tayong 12 megapixel nga na main shooter, f1.5. Actually, hindi pala ako sure dito yung pinaka main shooter. Ito ata actually, since ito yung parang pinaka wide na aperture. 12 megapixel telephoto, para may OIS yung main shooters niya. Tapos yung ultra wide no OIS, but f1.9 naman. 16 megapixels. Tapos ang ating single LED flash. Tapos sa harap, as nakita nyo naman kanina, is meron tayong thick-ass na notch, housing 2 cameras actually, one 8 megapixel sensor and one 5 megapixel sensor. Tapos yung earpiece speaker grill na off-center siya, which medyo weird tignan. But yeah, after a while is makakasanayan mo din. Tapos one thing na medyo na-disappoint ako dito sa V50 so far is medyo thick, like thicker than what I would like. Yung side bezels niya, mainly ito, yung side and bottom, actually medyo thicker pa pala na konti yung bottom bezel niya. But yeah, and one thing design-wise and build quality-wise about the LG V50 na hindi mo talaga mahanap sa mga budget smartphones is IP68 certification and MIL standard 810G. Basically, eto. So at the same time, while maintaining slim profile, is pretty rugged naman yung device na to for the most part. Obviously, this is something that I will not test out as bibenta ko pa yung unit na to. If magiging phone ko na talaga to, is pwede kong itry, pero ibibenta ko actually to after kong reviewin. Pretty snappy naman for the most part yung rear mounted na fingerprint scanner neto. Not the quickest, but yeah, snappy nevertheless. And one thing about sa software neto, according nga sa GSM Marina, is pwede mo nga daw i-upgrade yung V50 up until Android 11. Pero as nakita nyo naman is kaka-update ko nga lang neto sa Android 12, which is very nice on LG's part. Kahit pa paano na-upgrade pa nila to up until Android 12, kahit na 2019 pa na-release yung phone na to. But yeah, so far initial impressions is pretty snappy naman yung phone na to. It's not as fluid or smooth yung experience dito compared sa S20 ko. Hindi lang dahil mas powerful yung chipset na nandito sa S20 ko, but of course 60 Hz nga lang again yung display neto. And siguro, ewan ko, depende kung sino ka, if this is a good thing. Ang max resolution na display netong V50 is yan, up to 1440p. So 3120 by 1440. So quad HD basically yung display neto, or 3K if gusto nyo maging technical sense, you know, ayun. But yeah, I'm sticking to 1080p as for a handheld. 1080p should be the max resolution, not just for the health ng chipset neto and yung GPU, para it's not pushing as many pixels, para smoother yung performance niya. So yeah, yung display na to so far gets decently bright as nakita niyo naman so far. Pero of course, re-reviewin ko pa to and titignan ko yung sunlight readability neto. Pero so far looking okay naman. Even though it's an OLED, hindi naman mukhang ganong oversaturated yung colors niya. Downside nga lang is again 60 Hz to, whereas a similar price budget phones na nasa 8K or pataas is may 90 Hz na display na, or even 120 Hz nga dun sa Hot 20s. But considering this is an OLED display, this is way more pleasing to the eye, of course, compared to an IPS LCD display. And magkakaroon ako ng quick test dito sa cameras nga neto. Tapos quick selfie na din. And pagdating naman sa speakers neto, sound quality is really good naman, although it's not the loudest. Pagdating sa overall sound quality and loudness niya, panalo pa din talaga yung S20 ko. But yeah, yung dual stereo speakers neto is pretty good. Not the loudest, but still pretty good in terms of quality. And last is some quick gaming test natin, of course, with Genshin Impact. And actually, pretty surprised din ako sa performance nito sa Genshin Impact. And isa sa napansin ko, yung game load times or app load times, yung pag-open up ng mga apps and games, is a bit slower dito compared sa S20 Plus ko. Of course, ito kasi is UFS 2.1 storage lang to as compared sa UFS 3.0 ng S20 Plus ko. Obviously, unfair comparison yun, pero of course, kino-compare ko lang as someone who has been using the S20 Plus for a really long time now. But yeah, currently nakaset to sa highest graphic settings sa 60 FPS, tapos as always, turned off ang motion blur neto. But yeah, kasi yung tamang heal lang, may mamatay pa ako dito. But yeah, pretty surprised ako sa performance nito. So, smooth naman siya for the most part. Although, kung gusto mo na significantly smoother or basically walang stutters. Kasi kahit pa paano dito, lalo na if nasa laban ka, is magkakaroon ka ng micro stutters, which siguro pinapakita ng age nung 855 na nandito. But yeah, for the most part, pretty smooth naman siya. Even at the highest settings, again, 60 FPS, motion blur turned off. Pero obviously, kung maselan ka and ayaw mo talaga makita yung mga micro stutters na yon, is set mo sa high, kahit high na graphic settings. And yun, nakahanap ako ng kalaban. And yeah, considering na 2019 pa na-release yung phone na to, this beats, at least pagdating sa performance, any budget phone in this price point of 8,000. And so far, pagdating naman sa thermals neto, so far sa pagtetest ko is hindi naman siya nag-overheat. Although, ang temperature niya, which yes, may-measure ko na nga ngayon. So yan, around 39 degrees siya sa, hanapin natin ngayon. And so far, hottest point niya is around dito sa may cameras. So, 41 to 42 degrees Celsius, and significantly cooler here sa bottom part ng phone, about 34 degrees Celsius. But yeah, masasabi ko sa performance so far is that this beats any budget smartphone at this price of about 8,000 pesos. And as much as I wanted to buy the V50s sana, is almost 10k na actually yon sa pagsusearch ko. And if di ko pa pala nababanggit kanina, is one memory option or RAM option lang and storage option itong V50 with 6 gigs of memory and 128 gigs of storage, which for the most part is in line naman sa mga most budget phones in this price. Actually, baka yung iba in this price point is nasa 4 gigs pa nga. So, siguro pagdating sa performance aspect ng phone na to, yung makikita ko lang na parang weakness niya. Ayoko actually sabihin na weakness since 6 gigs of memory is still plenty for most people. But yeah, for the most part, sa nakikita ko naman, 6 gigs of memory is no problem naman for this phone so far. And of course, since high-end flagship nga to, years ago pa, is USB 3.1 nga to mga kaibigan. So, very nice. Ibig sabihin naman, pwede kong gamitin to na basically parang switch tulad ng S20 Plus ko. So, great bonus yon na literal, hindi mo yan mahanap sa kahit anong budget smartphone or actually kahit top of the line na phone ng Xiaomi is hindi mo pa mahanap ang USB 3.0 doon. But yeah, after a few days nga, yung review ko dito, if worth it ba siya bilhin. Pero sa nakikita ko naman ngayon is well worth yung 8,000 pesos na gagastusin mo dito. Siguro yung nakikita ko lang na parang downside sa pagbili ng older flagship smartphone or any older phone in general is stop ka na dito sa mga software updates. So most likely, eto na talaga. Hanggang Android 12 na lang tong LG V50. But yeah, shoutout again kay Sir Louie ng Louie Gadgets Hut sa pag-deliver ng isang malupitan naman na parang brand new condition na phone, kahit na again 2019 pa yung phone na to. That's basically 4 years ago. But yeah, that was my unboxing and first impressions of the LG V50. Parang weird sabihin nun na unboxing and first impressions ng old flagship phone. But yeah, that's gonna do it for now. Leaving a like is the easiest way to support the channel. Consider subscribing if you like my content and turn on notifications for all so you'll be updated on my latest videos. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Flip a bag, now I'm serving a Tesla. Going back, shawty with me, I stepped up. GTA for the ops, ain't no less stuff. Shawty born to be my angel, yeah, I'm blessed up. Cooking right up in the stew, gotta check the fan.